heading into a more humane part of your schedule, what are some of the things that this team needs to do to get back on the winning track?
Yeah, I think, it's still definitely been tough. I feel like we haven't had any days of practice. It's just like game, walk through game. But I think you just got to continue to learn from game to game. That's the biggest thing. A lot of these teams, this is like the second time we're starting to play them. So I think taking what worked and what didn't work. In the first matchup, was really executing that in the second time we played them. And then obviously, you got to try to win the ones at home. Those are the important ones. Those are the very winnable ones. So I would say that.
This has been a tough stretch, but what are some positives you've taken away just from these 8 games? I know it's 1-7, but still, there's got to be.
I think you just got to keep everything in perspective. Like, this team is very young. We're trying to find our way. We had a brutal schedule. We're the most inexperienced team in the league. And there has been moments where we've been really good, but I think the thing that's holding us back is, like, it's just moments. It's not games we're putting together. It's just spurts that we're putting together. And then, versus Sparks, we give up an 11-0 run at the end of the third quarter, and that's what kills you in this league. So I think it's finding ways to limit that and stop the bleeding when those runs do happen, but also we have to find a way to eliminate that, and that's going to help us win some games.
You faced a lot this season, but are you still surprised that you're still pressured? First quarter, 94 feet, like in these first week of the season?
I feel like I expect it at this point.
Really?
Yeah, it definitely is what it is. I think the more we can get stops on the defensive end, that leads to our transition. That's been really good for us. You saw that in, I think, the second and part of the third quarter versus Sparks. We played really great defense. I think we held them to 14 points in the second and then 11 points until the last 2 minutes of the third. So we have had moments we've been really good, and that's led to some great offense for us. And then other times our offense has been really stagnant. But yeah, people are definitely going to pick me up. I think it's what I expect at this point. Like, it doesn't even really bother me.
How comfortable do you feel like everything is right now offensively? Because it seems like there's a lot of moments where everybody's a little bit disjointed in the offense.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely moments where we're a little out of sync, or people don't remember certain sets, or we're just not all quite on the same page, or we're not moving hard enough, or your legs are tired. And I think that just speaks to the schedule that we played. I think that speaks to our inexperience, and we're trying to build chemistry during games, and that's like a really hard thing to do. But there's no excuse. Like, you just got to continue to try to find a way, and know that we've been right there in a lot of games. Like, we lost by 2, we lost by 5, we lost by 6, we lost by 4. Like, we're right there, and I think that can almost be more frustrating in a way.
You're obviously focused on tonight, and that's going to be the foremost thing. But is Saturday a bit of a reset with the Commissioner's Cup starting and having tournament being 0-0 in that competition?
Yeah, Commissioner Cup, to be honest, like, this is my first time, so I don't know if I really think it's much. For me, it's not much different. I'm going to play just as hard as I am going to play in this game tonight. For me, that's not what it is. It's, every single basketball game means the same. It should mean the same to every single person on this team. You should play just as hard. I'm sure there's maybe a little bit more on the line, and like, that's a fun thing to have. But if you execute how you do normally, like, it should continue to be the same. So I wouldn't really say it's a reset. I would just say it's another basketball game. You got to execute the way that you always should.
William mentioned recently that she's cut off social media. Have you done anything like that, or how do you deal with the constant talk out there?
Yeah, I'm not on social media. I try to, just focus on what's here and what's in this building. People are going to talk. That's what it is. It's good for the game, but at the same time, you can't control what people are going to say or what people are going to write. And that's how it's been my entire career. Like, some days it's been amazing, some days it's been bad. That's sports. That's life. That's the media. That's how it goes. I don't think it affects me. I think, I know what my job is, to come in here and try to perform every single night and help this team win. But at the same time, have some grace and have there has to be a certain expectation on this team. Like, now we're down one of our starters. I think just, understanding what the circumstances are, but also, we're very inexperienced. We're trying to learn as we go here. Our coach is in our second year, so just allowing yourself a little grace, but at the same time, we know we can be better. We all have that fire inside of us of, like, we can be what we want to be.
Are you by nature a patient person or not?
No, absolutely not.
So this is killing you.
It's not killing me, but I just love to win. I wouldn't even say it's a patience thing. I think it's just a fiery competitive thing. Like, I love to win, but at the same time, I think this is good for me. Like, it's a little adversity. It's good for all of us, and I think the moments when we do get there, when we really do break through, it's going to make this, a whole lot sweeter for sure.
What's kind of the scale, or almost spectrum in your mind between demoralizing and lighting a fire under you to come after the road trip and lose close to home?
Yeah, to me, it's not demoralizing. It's frustrating, but I don't get demoralized. If you're getting demoralized in game, what was it, 8 or 7? Like, we have a problem. To me, it's, it stinks, but you find a way to be better. And there was a lot of instances where we could have easily won the game and handled the game. So I think it's a little bit of a frustration, but it's not a disappointment or a quit. Like, to me, it makes me want to get better and come back today. Like, I'm so excited we get to come back and continue to play and continue to have opportunities. So that's what it is for me, and I think that's what it is for our whole group.
How are you feeling physically, just with this brutal schedule to start?
Yeah.
Just how's the recovery been through this?
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot different. I think taking care of my body. Like, I haven't been able to work out a ton on my own. That's just that's back to what it is right now. It's more just recovery. It's a lot different than college. I think that road trip, you could definitely see that I was tired by the end of it when we got to Las Vegas. So it was good to get back here and be able to be in your own place and get your recovery here at home. So that's been good. I felt kind of re-energized after that trip, but it's kind of the same thing that everybody's facing across the league. Obviously for us, it's on kind of a higher scale, which is the schedule that we were handed. But at the same time, once we get into a flow, that's gonna be really good for us to continue to stack games. So.
Do you anticipate Lexi or Grace kind of fitting into the rotation more, or what do you anticipate just doing in the rotation?
Yeah, anytime you've got a man down, you've got players on the bench who they have worked really hard. They haven't gotten the minutes they want, but they've worked really hard, and I know they're ready. If their number's going to be called tonight, they'll be ready.
Even Temi already moved into the starting five. Without her now, I'm assuming that Liz will be back in that spot. And how do you think things will be different for her now that you see kind of Temi fit into that spot as well?
Yeah, Liz was awesome in her approach to not starting. She came in, she was like, "Coach, what do you need me to do?" She's been working extremely hard. She does, she comes in the game and she's given us what she's, what she knows that she needs for us to have a chance to get some wins. So looking forward to her having this opportunity again, and she's excited about it. And she just wants to win. They all just want to get a win.
Hi, Christie. With Erica playing around 17 minutes per, I guess, how do you plan to delegate those lost minutes? And is that going to, maybe one specific person? Is it going to be more group effort?
Yeah, I think it's that kind of depends on, who Seattle plays and who's in there in the matchup. But I think, Lexi, of course, Grace, of course, I think they're going to have an opportunity to get out there and show that they're, when they're ready and their number's called, that they're ready to go.
We talked about the unusual schedule, but one of the maybe positive things is you're playing teams multiple times. How beneficial is that to this young team? And also, what did you take out of the game film from last time after looking it over?
The first part of that question, it's, as former assistant coach, it's easier, when you have a scout that's back-to-back, when you're trying to prepare and you can watch and try to make adjustments pretty quick, and you can see if what you see is able to help you be more successful when you play someone, just pretty much back-to-back. But other than that, the game the other night against LA, that was, a heartbreaker. I thought we were going to be able to get that one. There was a time where we gave up, 9 quick points right there at the end of the third. Got to do better at that. We've got, when things were working early, we needed to, continue doing what was helping us in those first 2 quarters and some of our defensive schemes. And so just was able to look at those and correct those for tonight.
Yeah. You mentioned LA's 9-0 run on Tuesday. I think that was in a 4-minute stretch where you took Caitlin out of the game. Obviously, she played 34 minutes. You can't play the full 40, but how do you just balance that in terms of trying to make sure LA or any other team doesn't go on runs when she's out of the game?
Yeah, we've just, working on some different adjustments, just trying to figure out where we can give her a blow here and there. She's being guarded full court, picking her up, double teams, just really fighting on both ends. And so we're really trying to find a way to give her a little bit, a little rest when we can.
Go on Zoom real quick. Lindsay Schnell. Lindsay, you got one for Coach.
Hey, Christie. So many people talk about Caitlin's scoring, understandably, and her passing, but she's also a very good rebounder. I wonder if you could tell me, number one, what makes her a good rebounder, because as we've discussed at length, she's not super strong yet. And then how much does it help when she can just take the ball off the glass and instantly get into transition?
Yeah, that's a huge advantage when, if she's able to get the rebound and push. That's the quickest way to get out of there, and she does a great job of just having a nose for the ball. She puts herself in a position from where shots are being taken. She kind of reads it and kind of puts herself as, if they're on the right wing, she puts herself in a position where she's able to maybe get it as it comes off, either off the front or off to the, off to the side right there. But she's always looking to go move in that direction. Like she's hardly ever standing and just watching. So that's just, she does an extremely good job of that.
Tony.
Thank you.
Tough time to ask this with the injuries that change it tonight specifically, but do you feel like you've been experimenting with rotations, trying to figure stuff out through these first 9 games? Do you come in with a plan, and how reflexive are you when a game starts to what needs to be changed given what's happening?
Yeah, I think when you're, trying to find those rotations and you're playing every other night, it's hard to, to get a good idea of like, hey, this person's going to play this many minutes. And I think we're still in that learning phase. And then you throw in, Temi getting hurt and Erica not with us tonight. Now you're looking at a whole different rotation. So it's just, again, it goes back to personnel of the other team and the matchups.